Alina, this book is something else. Every she's saying, she's saying that the things that that stand out to you, the things that you want to repeat, and all of these things into your life. Listen, everything I've
Everything
read so
stands
far,
out.
So I break it down into portions that I can manage.
This really was transformative.
Hi, good evening, and welcome. We're back with Book Club Conversation Series 6, and I think I'm going to begin to call you all Achievers. Hi, good evening, Achievers. That's my new name for this cohort of Series 6, because that's what it's all about. Welcome to this evening's discussion. Launchpad Consultancy, in collaboration with VisionWorks Solutions, bring to you Book Club Conversation Series 6. And in this series, entrepreneurs, professionals, listen, mummies, daddies, aunties, uncles, and everybody in between can read the book, The Uncommon Achiever, written by author Mike Murdock. My name is Alina Lewis. I'm an author, business coach, and an education consultant. And joining me for discussion this evening is Roll Rollock, Simone Nickham, and Chanel Shepherd Richards. Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen, we have one man in the mix.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I'm always happy when you all are in the studio with me. And I want to ask you my favorite question, but we have a treat for our viewers tonight. I don't even want to tell you what the treat is. I just want to show you what the treat is, and then we're going to come back and clap and celebrate. This is your treat tonight.
Hello, I'm Roll Rollock, founder and lead business coach at VisionWorks. And today I would like to introduce you to Morning Affirmations at VisionWorks. We are proud and excited to bring to you a technique utilized by many top performers in just about every field of endeavor. So what is an affirmation? An affirmation is an oral or written statement confirming something to be true even when you don't feel like it. VisionWorks affirmations are simple, positive statements declaring specific goals or outcomes for your day. These empowering declarations can have profound effect on the conscious and subconscious mind. So why affirmations? Positive affirmations can help you create positive emotions, which can improve your mental, emotional, and physical health. The awareness that affirmations produce makes you more likely to challenge negative or defeating thoughts as they arise. Research on affirmations indicates that they can boost your problem solving and decision-making skills, help you to perform better under pressure, help you to focus on abundance rather than lack, and develop an attitude of gratitude. So how do you make the best of VisionWorks morning affirmations? First, find a place free of distraction. Secondly, remain calm. Smile if it feels natural to you. Say your affirmations slowly and clearly. That's number 3. Fourthly, repeat the affirmations at least 3 times, really focusing on the meaning of each word. We are convinced that these affirmations, when added to your daily routine, will empower you for greater impact. So look out for more of our promos and subscribe, and you will receive our podcast once a week that you can repeat daily to set your day on the right path. See you on the inside.
And this is reason to celebrate. We clapping, we clapping, we clapping, because our achievers are achieving. Our achievers out here doing things. And so we want to celebrate Roll and the work that he's doing through VisionWorks Solutions, bringing this good stuff about affirmations to you. And when you follow the VisionWorks social media, their Facebook page, their LinkedIn page. You're going to get access to the podcast. So we're celebrating tonight because it's all about last night. Mommy Ingrid, one of our panelists, announced that she launched her Pearls of Hope and her social media is on and ready to serve. Tonight, we announcing that Vision Works podcast has launched. I'm not sure who launching what tomorrow, but hey, what we're doing is we're demonstrating that we out here making an impact. So I'm so excited. I'm so proud of all of us. And I really want to encourage you, even if you're looking on and you're thinking, I have something I want to do too, do it, because we want to hear from you. Your voice is unique. Go ahead and do it and make it happen and do your best. I know that it might not be perfect, but that's okay. What we want to encourage you to do is to tap into whatever is on the inside and you do your best. And as you continue on, you will grow and you will flourish. So now that you've had your treat, now that we've celebrated Roll and the launch of the Vision Works podcast, Morning Affirmations, now I can get into my favorite question, which is, how was chapter 4 for you? So, Rolly on the top of my screen, let me volunteer you now. How was chapter 4 for you? What were your big takeaways?
The the critical thing here for me, as I looked at the chapters, I read this particular chapter, was that we could talk, we could have meetings, we could share, we could have ideas, you could research, but at the end of the day, we have to act. We have to act. We have to deliver, and that comes down often to the kind of fire. And that's how I see this particular chapter. It talks about having a passion and the importance of passion. And for me, passion is like having a fire lit inside that cannot go out. It's a fire that drives you, that compels you, that pushes you on, that pushes you through difficult times, pushes you through uncertainty, pushes you through persons, doubters, and people saying that you can't do it and it can't be done. That's what I see as passion. So that's the piece that brings everything together. So I felt it was fitting at this point in time because we were talking about aspects of the environment and being intentional. This is certainly an area that works well together with any of the steps that we need to take us to achieving the goals that we want.
Now you see, now it makes sense. Now we understand why you come out in the red tonight, because you're representing the passion and the fire.
Yeah,
you see, we
that's
figured it out, The passion and the fire was in the subconscious. We
together.
figured it out, yes. Simone, let me volunteer you. What stood out for you when you were reading chapter 4? What was your big takeaway?
What stayed with me was this quote from Shakespeare: to thine own self be true. And that's because people see value in different ways. So what is a value to someone may not be a value to me, vice versa. And it's similar to passion. What I am passionate about, someone else may not be. And after chapter 1, with us being decisive about what we're about and what we want to achieve, we need to understand that passion is determined by us. We have to put that label on what we call our passion. We have to treasure that passion, and we have to protect that passion, which goes right back to Shakespeare's quote again: to thine own self be true.
Definitely. Thank you so much. What about you, Chanel? What would have stood out as you were reading chapter 4?
For me, is making sure that you don't depend on somebody else to help you pursue that passion, or to, bring out that passion in you in whatever you decide to do, or your desires. This is a journey for you to do, and nobody's in control of your destiny. So, to take that track, to keep on going, keep on pushing forward, and believing in yourself straight through.
Wow. Listen, and that's some heavy stuff you all just mentioned there, That's some heavy, heavy, heavy stuff. A lot to unpack there. And as we anticipated, I think we mentioned it in day 2 or day 3, you could feel the weight of the chapter starting to sink in and kick in as Mike Murdock goes deeper into the conversation. And for those who may not have access to the book, I want to just remind you of some things that he said at the beginning of the chapter. And he started off by saying, passion is power. You'll only have significant success with something that is an obsession. And it's so interesting that he's saying you will only have significant success. So it doesn't mean you can't have any success at all, but the success will only be significant if it is you're pursuing something that there is an obsession for. Because an obsession is when something consumes your thoughts and your time. And it's so interesting as well that he mentioned you're only going to be remembered in life for your obsession. And he gave a lot of examples. Henry Ford being remembered for the automobile because he was obsessed about it. He worked on it. Thomas Edison for his invention. Billy Graham for his evangelism. The Wright brothers for the airplane. The interesting thing, though, is that in society, obsession tends to be looked at or received as a negative. When you hear the word obsession, you don't think, oh, that's amazing, I want to be obsessed. Few people think that instinctively. I want to be obsessed about something. We usually say passionate, we want to be driven. But when we think about obsession, there's this connotation of this deep dive into laser focus, nothing stopping you going after it. And while we tend to use the word obsession for the stalkers and the killers, the book is reminding us tonight that they should not have that word. That we, the achievers, are supposed to have that word, because we are the ones that are supposed to have that laser focus and relentless after the thing that we're passionate about. So therein lies our rapid fire, guys. You know our rapid fire is always coming. And our rapid fire tonight is special. Just like we started off tonight's segment with a treat tonight, just seem real special. It's Sunday. We're having Vision Sunday. Yes, according to Vision Words. We're having a 2-part rapid fire experience. On one hand, I want to ask those who are in studio, I want to ask them, what is one word or one very short phrase that they could use to describe what they're obsessed about? Because a lot of times we could hear about something and we could try to imagine how it would apply to our lives and just go blank. So tonight, those who are in studio with us, we dig in deep on the inside to come up with some answers. What are you obsessed about in 1 to 3 words? And part 2 of our rapid fire says, how do you activate your obsession to make impact? Because remember, according to what we read in chapter 4, the stalkers and the killers don't have legal rights to that word again for us, the achievers. Because we, the achievers, accept that to be obsessed with something is to be passionate and relentless about making impact in our area of work or our space, wherever we are, whatever environment consists of. That is us having that obsession. So, am I volunteering or are we volunteering? What are we doing? Who doing the volunteering here for this rapid fire? Tell me, guys, because I am ready. Rapid fire. Okay, so Simone, you're muted. So let me ask you to unmute. But I'm glad I see your mouth going because it means you're volunteering. So we're going rapid fire, guys. Talk to me.
So my one word would be authenticity.
Good. Chanel, rapid fire. What are you obsessed about?
World change.
World change. Good. Roll, what are you obsessed about?
Learning.
And Alina, I am obsessed about excellence. So good. We have it. We have authenticity, world change, learning, and excellence. So let's go into part 2. Oh, hold up, Scrooks. People who are viewing live, put it in the comment section. We want to hear from you. What are you obsessed about? One word, no more than 3 words. Come on, tell us. We want to hear from you too. What are you obsessed about? Put it in the comment section below. Part 2, guys, we're asking the question, how do you activate this obsession to make impact? Simone.
Okay. You know the story about the three little pigs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would be the person to ask the pigs, why did you build the house with straw, with wood, with brick? And before time, because I tend to have this investigative, inquiring mind. It was looked down upon. It was seen as she always asking a lot of questions. And for a while, it stifled me. It stifled my authenticity. Until one day somebody said, listen, we need you to be part of, a committee that we have, a board. And it's exactly because you ask a lot of questions. And not just a lot of questions, but relevant questions. So part of my authenticity, a big part, is being the person in the room who will ask questions to help define what we need to do to progress something forward.
Love it. Chanel, how do you activate that world changer obsession that you have?
I honestly believe that it starts with an individual, the man in the mirror. Michael Jackson said it, yes. And when you look at yourself and you look at what it is you're doing, how are you making impact on the world? So to me, it's like carrying on that legacy with my kids, like making that point to change the dynamics of things. Because society thinks that way, we don't all have to think that way. We know that, this is the right thing to do and we're going to stick to it and be that word of encouragement. So when I get involved in anything, I try to bring that positivity to others. So that way that they can know that they have the freedom to think, to inspire, to be a beginner. You don't have to be a movie star or thing, but in your own individual self as a regular person, that's what we will call it, we can all shine.
And that resonates because listen, I every time I hear you talk about something like that, you actually use the same illustration, and I always so admire that because I don't often hear parents talking about their children as that extension to create a world-changing ripple. But you always talk about it. I so admire that about you. So thank you for sharing that. Roll, learning your obsession. How do you use learning to how do you activate that obsession to make impact?
I would say this thing. I want to make a connection with something we discussed before. We were talking about environment and the space and the atmosphere. How many of you remember Encyclopedia Britannica, or remember the Collins set of? I don't know if any of you had that. All these set of encyclopedias at your home. Well, that was one of the environments that I was in. And that lit in me this desire to learn about anything. So sometimes I'll just spend hours just opening encyclopedias and learning about stuff. And what it has taught me and what helps me to activate it is that I need to be open. And I think openness is what helps me to continue to activate this desire to learn, right? So, I mean, openness to new ideas, openness to new people, openness to new situations. And I've come up with, well, I wouldn't say it's my own mantra. I heard it said before that we must seek first to understand, then be understood. So that means I find meaning and learning in everything, every situation. Sometimes you want to go somewhere invited and you don't really want to go. I remain open and I learn from it. I learn from the negative experiences. I learn from all the challenges, all the failures. So remaining open to experiences, expecting the unexpected positively is what helps me to activate learning.
Yeah, I activate my obsession for excellence by looking on the inside. I believe that excellence is often misunderstood and confused for perfection, and people run from the word. People are offended by the word, and they become afraid of the word. And even, for example, in education, because I work in education, parents are apprehensive when they hear that word because there's an assumption you're trying to ask me for something that I cannot give you because it's too difficult. But I believe that excellence, the activation of excellence, becomes the elevation of your highest self and your highest power and your highest operation of self. And so for me, I activate excellence by looking in me to see what's inside of there, because the world cannot tell me who I am. For me to know who I am, I have to look into me and discover who God has created me to be. Because I also have a belief that says that everything I need is already on the inside. Yes, the world may give me training and exposure and opportunities to develop, but it doesn't change the fact that my capacity to become is already set. So I become excellence, exude excellence, and encourage excellence by tapping into what is on the inside and pulling it out. So that when I pull it out, I'm never comparing me to anybody. I don't need to be a perfect version on the side of something else. I am just the best me in my season, in that time for the thing that I'm doing. And in that moment, I am enough. And so for
Yeah.
me, that is how I activate excellence. So, guys, that has been rapid fire. But before we move on, I just want to share Paula told us that her obsession is kindness. And then we have Lester also sharing his obsession is growth. So, guys, even as you are listening on online live with us, I want to ask you, share in the comment section and tell us, how are you activating your obsession to make impact in your world? We want to hear from you. And even as we continue, I want to ask and get back to our individual sharing now. So we've identified what the obsession is. We know what we're passionate about. We know how we're activating it. But my question to you now is, how do people benefit from your obsession? Because it's one thing for us to look internally, know what we're doing, know our perception of it. But impact is not about us. Impact is about our environment, our circles. So I want to ask, how are people benefiting from your passion? Who's going to jump in? Or are we going to let it hit randomly? Oh, gosh, Simone, look, you reach at the top of my screen, Simone.
Oh my.
You were
Okay.
destined to answer first.
So one way is I like connecting with people. And one way I do that is there's always something about a person that I'm able to connect with and share and pull out beyond the work or the title, just that person. And beyond that, on social media, on my LinkedIn page, I have an Ignite Your Monday series that I'm doing to help individuals, those who may be new to the workplace, those who may be there a while, those who just need that Monday kick to read some nuggets about what can help you to be authentic in the workplace. So it also encourages persons to share their own experience because, like Roel, I'm a lifelong learner. And like Chanel, I believe that I am a world changer when I do things, right? So the way I do it is by sharing Ignite Your Monday on LinkedIn and being able to connect with persons by giving them some guidance as to different items, different issues that you would come across in the workplace based on my experience to help them to channel their authenticity so that they will win at whatever they're doing.
Got it. Great. Chanel, what about you? How do people benefit from your passion? How do they benefit from your obsession?
I would say is by process of association. creating that environment, that atmosphere. So, for instance, book club series is my opportunity to voice, to talk as a regular person. It gives me a platform to, share my opinions or, you know, give some headway. Being part of a PTA, being a class rep, because sometimes it's as simple as a kind word to somebody will be enough to motivate them to do better, to do something. You don't know what anybody's experiencing. So always being mindful of what you say and how you say what you say to somebody is enough to be impactful. It's very simple and to the point. So that's, and especially if I'm kind on with my children, they as well know that when they are speaking to friends or they're speaking to, because you don't know what is somebody's situation in this moment. We don't know what anybody going through. We might be sitting here and somebody might have a serious back pain,
Yeah.
but and they need somebody to just say, everything is going to be all right. Trust in God. And then they're just like, yes, your words, resonates in me. Thank you. And you mightn't think you did anything, but it was enough to move them forward.
Yeah, I like that. I'm continuing
Yeah.
to enjoy the diversity that we have here with our panel. Roll, how do people benefit from your passion, from your obsession?
I like to describe myself as a dream catcher. You know, I'm passionate about the various expressions. I mean, we were all placed here with limitless potential, with so much creativity, but tapping into it and making it work, hence Vision Works, the name of my organization, becomes a challenge for a lot of us. So for me, my passion expresses itself in my love and my desire to offer my service and my care to help people piece it together. So you may have an idea about what you want to do, how you want to make an impact, how you want to change the world, how you want to be authentic. But how do I put this together? Where do I begin? What are the steps? What systems do I need? How can I be more innovative? How can I connect with people? How can I get the resources that I need? So in this way, I help people catch the dream and make it real. And that's my best expression, I would say. Helping persons to catch the dream, make it work, and live a fulfilled life.
I love that. Because,
Alina, can I
yeah,
just
of
um,
course.
ex- say something based on what Chanel said earlier? She said, you can never tell where somebody might be, and you can never tell what a word of encouragement that you give to somebody, the impact it would have. And I remember a couple years ago, I was not well to the point where I had to be taken to the hospital. And as I was being carried into the car, I remember a colleague. She was passing at the same time, and she just stopped and said, "Don't worry, you'll be okay." Those were like the last words I heard when I got into the car. And something about her words really anchored me. It lifted my spirit. And I went all the way to the hospital with that. So, Chanel, you're so right. It's sometimes it's these seemingly simple things that make a huge impact.
Yeah, definitely. And even for me, when I think about it, because I really do believe that we ought to look on the inside, I am able to support people and people are able to benefit from my passion containing excellence, because I'm able to help them look on the inside of themselves. Whether it's a child who discovers that, oh my God, I'm smart, I can understand, I can learn, or whether it's an adult who say, I have skills, I didn't know I can do this, or whether it's a business owner that figure out, oh, this is how I put it together. That it doesn't matter who I work with, whether children, teens, and adults, whether in education, as in primary and secondary education, or whether it's in business and professional development. Everything I do is about helping people discover what's on the inside, how to bring it out, and how to live it out. Everything that I do. And so for me, that's how I channel my obsession for excellence, because whether directly or indirectly, whether through direct word or what is implied, I'm always intentional about helping people to reflect to the point that they could discern that there is something great on the inside. And because there's something great on the inside, I should hold myself accountable. So even my children, even at my school, when I ask them and we say, what do you have on the inside? Well, back before COVID and we shut down. But when you ask them, um, what's on the inside, they will tell you seeds of greatness. Because if they have a session with me, I'll be like, what are you doing with your seeds of greatness? If somebody misbehaves, what are you doing with your seed of there is greatness inside of you? Was that a demonstration of greatness? My children know that they have seeds of greatness of the inside. And it is the cutest thing to hear them say, no, that's not what we do here. Like if a child is being naughty at school, no, 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 that's not what you do. That we're great. We're not supposed to do that. And that tells us the power
Excellent.
of impact. And it
Yes.
doesn't, you don't have to wait until you're with a room of adults or people who have qualifications and PhDs. You can make impact across the board, no matter who you are, no matter who you are with. And of course, I want to check in again in our comment section. And we have Lester. Lester shared a bit, and he said that what he does is he creates environments and opportunities for people around him to know who they are and their possibilities for growth. This is so lovely. Don't we all feel very normal? Because everyone in this conversation talking the same thing. I love it. And it shows us why we don't have to live in a world where we must feel as though we have to compete with each other, because we all are passionate and we all can exist in the same space. Here's what I want to do, guys. And I know you don't have a heads up about this, huh? But here's what I want to do. Because I'm listening to you. And before we close, everyone talked about the importance of encouraging. We've been talking about the importance of affirming and declaring and creating environments. So here's what I would love to do. I want to give each of us, keep in mind what we've been talking about, keep in mind your passion, and I want to put you center stage and I want to ask you, take a minute or two if you like, and I want you to speak a word of encouragement to people who may benefit from your passion. So am I volunteering you or are you volunteering yourselves? This conversation is exciting tonight, boy. I am loving it. We are digging deep on the inside and we're pulling it all out. I love it. So here's what I'm going to start. Since I volunteered this new little segment here, speak to the people. I'll start. And in me speaking, I will encourage people to know that inside of you is everything you need. And because you were created with all the things that you need, you can rest assured that you will never be a failure in life. Even though the things that you want to do now and the things that you want to achieve, you may not see it coming to pass just yet, know that the fact that you have a passion for it means that it is in seed form on the inside. So even as we've been reading in this book, I want to encourage you, position yourself. Be intentional, do the research, put in the work, sharpen your skills, and go through your circumstances. I'll use that other example. Buju Banton said, circumstances make me who I am. So if it is we were to even consider Buju, who sang that song all those years ago, even the circumstances that you're going through right now are there to sharpen you and make you better. Even if it feels really difficult and it feels like it's pressing you, there is something on the inside of you that could be squeezed out and developed, and a skill that can be harnessed because of it. Everything you need is already on the inside. Look into self, tap into who you are, and share your greatness with your world. And that's my encouragement. Who's volunteering next? Let's keep the ball rolling.
I'll jump in.
Great.
Yeah, I would want to encourage persons out there who it's been a long journey, you know. It's been long in coming. You've been pursuing a passion, you've been pursuing a dream for a long time. and it just hasn't come to fruition. Maybe you're having what I call a slingshot experience. You know, when you, if any of you've had a slingshot before, you know, you're pulling it back, and you're in that stage where you're still being, you know, you're being pulled back and pulled back and pulled back and pulled back, but it hasn't been released yet. You know, you're seeing that mango in the tree, but you're pulling back your slingshot and it just hasn't been released yet. So you haven't been able to get the fruit. You haven't been able to see the benefit. I want to say to you, do not give up. There's a meaning and there's a purpose and there's a reason for everything that you're going through. If you tell yourself that you're going to be this learner and learn from your experiences, you know. So you have a particular plan. You have these ideas. Maybe you've actually tried launching and it hasn't worked. Maybe you weren't able to convince people to come on board, but you still have that fire inside. I want to say to you, do not give up. It's just around the corner for you. And in fact, I don't know if you realize, if you looked at construction, sometimes it happens in the planned kingdom. You see a building going up, and it's taken for long. That foundation is taking so long. You wonder why. When are they going to build this building? It's because you are building such a great structure that what you're going to do, and the passion that you have, is going to be the envy for plenty of the people looking on. Or in addition, it will be able to help so many people, much more people than you even dream or anticipate. God promises that He will do exceedingly, abundantly, above all that we can even ask or think or imagine. So you have something for you. You're having a slingshot experience. Do not give up. The fruit of all your labor is right around the way, and this time will be a fruitful time for you. Keep it on. That'll be my encouragement.
Yes, Rolla, receive it. Yes. Yes. Who's going next? And before you volunteer yourself, people who are viewing, feel free to share your word of encouragement in the comment section because we want to be encouraged by you too. Right. Should I volunteer one? Left,
Okay,
right,
so
left,
I'll
right.
go.
Yes, Simone.
So I'll go. I'd like to say to you, we all have a story. Where we were born, where we went to school, how we grew up, challenges. It's like the iceberg where, we're told we only see 10% on the surface, but there's the other 90%. And that involves some challenges, some trials, some wins, some not so successful times. But I would want to encourage us to look back at, the past things, the 90%, and don't neglect the small things. Don't neglect the little things, even the uncomfortable ones. But let that be a way to spur you to design and create your own narrative. We all have a story, but it's your narrative that makes impact. And you have the power to change your narrative. You have the power to say how this chapter of your life is going to unfold and how all the other chapters to come will be written. Keep your power, be your authentic self, rise up, look yourself in the mirror and say, girl, guy, you've got this. Create your own narrative.
I'm so encouraged. I'm so glad I came to book club conversation tonight. I am truly encouraged. So by default, Mommy Richards, you are next. So let's highlight you. Speak that word, Mommy Richards.
My words of encouragement will be smile, live, love, laugh, and grow. Be yourself and don't let anybody tell you what your destiny is. God already planned and He sees all, He knows all. Believe in yourself and go forward and do what you have to do. It is a long journey, but we learn from the good, we learn from the bad. Take a moment and just smile because you are here to conquer. We are here to be destined for greatness, as I always say. We are destined for greatness and we can make it. Just believe in yourself.
There it is. And I want to share, we have a contribution, some encouragement in the comment section. Be reminded that when God created you, he blessed you and said, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, and dominate. You were created fully assembled for success.
Excellent.
Exclamation mark. That's
Excellent.
what we're talking about.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
Love, 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 love. Guys, thank you for jumping in the deep end with me. I love it. And so this is our time for our closing words. I want to leave the floor open. Anything you want to share, what you want to close with as you wrap up your thoughts about chapter 4 as we continue to read the book The Uncommon Achiever by Mike Murdock. Open floor.
I will go first this time. And I will simply say, pursue your passion and live your obsession and do you.
I love that.
So I'll go next. And I remember one time when I was preparing for a workshop, and I really wanted people to embrace the image of seeing themselves as a sparkly crayon. We grew up with crayons, A crayon is something that every child can use. And you do something with the crayon. You take something that might be plain and you color it. You bring it to life. You add something to it. Now think of that painting and think of that crayon and those colors just sparkling. That is who I believe each and every one of us is. We're here to make an impact. We're here, as Lester said in the chat, we came assembled for success. And when you use your sparkly crayon, like Chanel said, you'll be bringing a smile on other people's faces. You'll be being your own self and adding value in this world. And that's one way that you protect your passion and your treasure, by being the sparkly crayon that you were created to be, someone exceptional.
Thank you.
Yes, excellent.
Roel?
Excellent. I like to jump off from a word that Simone used. She used the word treasure. And sometimes pursuing a passion or finding that passion is not obvious. Some people know since they're 2 years old, I want to become a doctor, I want to become a policeman, I want to become a nurse. Some people search for a long time and don't find that particular passion. But I want to encourage persons that sometimes this passion is like a treasure, it's like a hidden treasure, and you have to dig a little deeper. So let's say, for example, you like to sing, but sometimes singing may not like you. You understand? But you're thinking that your passion is singing when really your passion really is music. And maybe you're supposed to manage singers or help singers. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes finding that passion, you have to go a little deeper than the surface. But it takes a search, and it means keeping yourself open to opportunities, open to what's happening around you, continuing to explore the various options around you. So I want to encourage, if you fit in that category, that persons like that, to don't give up, but be prepared to pivot, and you will find that that treasure is there for you to impact the world. So that's my last words. Yeah.
Thank you. And I want whether you're looking live or you've been watching the replay, I want to leave you with some words from Mike Murdock as some practical things you could keep in mind as you move forward after chapter 4. And I want to share with you what he said, which is to protect the gift of passion that's within you. Guard your focus every hour. So the question is, what am I to do? I want to be passionate. I want to move forward. This is what he's telling us to do. Guard your focus every hour. Be ruthless with distractions. Feed the picture of your goals continually. Watch for the four enemies of passion: fatigue, busyness, overscheduling, and putting God last on your daily schedule. Because it doesn't matter if you start small, it doesn't matter if you start with very little. If what you love begins to consume your mind, your thought, your conversation, your schedule, guess what? You are going to experience extraordinary success. And I really
Yeah.
want to leave us with that thought as we get into, just getting ready for chapter 5. So, guys, as always, it was so awesome being here with you tonight. And I want to encourage you to keep reading. I want to encourage those in the comment section who are watching us. Make sure you subscribe to the channels. You get notifications whenever we go live. And we look forward to seeing you back tomorrow. Until then, have a great night, everyone.